Yo, 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 what's up? Rojo Kobe here, back again with another live stream. I'm going to be trying to do this every Sunday. Give me a second. I'm trying to promo this shit on the on my Instagram real fast. And we're gonna be lit today. Give me a second, more. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Live right now. Let me go. It's so like annoying how everything lags on your shit, but whatever. Go back. Boom. All right. Boom. All right. One more. I'm in another group. All right. So let's start it off with something sweet. Let me that. Hopefully that doesn't get up flag. All right, so trying to have fun real quick before I let people roll in this motherfucker. But yeah, so the day has come. We have hit the day. Spider-Man Nobody Safe is now live. I'm taking orders now on my website for Spider-Man Nobody is Safe. Get your orders in while you can. So this is my website. Go to it. Fuck with it. Fuck with me, man. Can't watch cringe. I mean, if you're cringe, whatever, bro. I'm just having fun. Don't care. So here we go. So on my website, go to my website. Links in the description. Just go. I have a digital copy and I have the physical copies, which will be it's like a pre-order. So once I hit my mark, I will be able to order the books. I already have my Maxim pretty much stuff ready for it. So yeah, live we are. Yeah, so I mean, just go get a copy if you can. Digital copy, physical copy, whatever. And I'm gonna have, hopefully, if I get to the orders that I need to, I will have the book out by, or put the order in probably mid this month, July, and then next month I'll be shipping them out. So it all depends on what's going on. But all the people who have ordered, I'm gonna be mindful of the timing. I don't want to make everybody wait super long to get the books out. So, but yeah, so today we're gonna be just looking at some of my I appreciate you, Brian. I have a better channel. Okay, so what's up, Brian? So yeah, so today we're just gonna be looking at some of my old work. Since I've finally got to the point where I'm putting out my first physical book. Just want to look at my journey and where I came, where I started back in 2021 to now, because I'm hyped and excited. So, let's just see how, where I started off. So, we're gonna go to my iPad for this one. So, because my first comic that I got into, or that I started with, was a Instagram comic. My reason into getting back into comics was from a comic artist named Simon Henselman, who does like a bunch of like cool, funny comics for Fancy Graphics. Let me see. I got one of his books in here. Seeds and Stems by Simon Henselman is the book I got. He does like a lot of cartoony stuff. This is a good book. A lot of like, it's like an anthology book with all of his stuff, and he has a bunch of stuff. It's really crude, Adult Swim-esque type shit, and I really fuck with it. So I saw that he was doing dropping like a comic every single day on his Instagram during the pandemic, and he made a whole book out of it. It's a pretty cool book. But I was following on there, where I saw a page that I was following on my personal Instagram post his comic on their story, and then I found this page, and it kind of like engulfed me into this world of like Instagram comic creators, right? Like people who would just make like Instagram comics and stuff like that, and like make comics specifically for Instagram, right? And then I was like, man, I could do that. I used to like drawing in middle school and high school a little bit, and I was like, I can get back into doing that. So I did. So my first venture was this Let me share my thing. Share my iPad screen. So there was this comic I did called Life is a Trip, right? So Life was a Trip was just like, I'm just gonna have fun and just do what I want, and I don't really like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know it switches stories was like the same idea, same concept, but that was like my first concept into making comics. I was like, I mean, I could just make a cool little comic, do them all the same panel size, and I'm not gonna color it and whatever. Just kind of get my foot into it. So this is like the cover art that I made. It's all on my Instagram still. If you scroll all the way down to my Instagram, you can see like the old comics that I made. So this was like the first thing I made for it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, whatever. And then pretty much that was it. It's all out of order on my iPad because when I had an older iPad and when I converted all the pages and shit over, it kind of like fucked it all up. So it's kind of annoying, but it was pretty much about this character and this character who was like a analog for like myself or whatever, and like he ends up getting like this imaginary friend, and this imaginary friend pretty much like fucks with him and like takes him on this random journey of just like stuff. I mean, it was like I made it up as I went. So like I would just whatever idea or concept that I had, I would just write it down and like on this little sketchbook that I had, and then I would just kind of go from there. It was just fun, and I had had a good time making it. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much my first like time like really getting into back into drawing and just writing and coming up with concepts, just having a good time with it overall. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think too much of it. I liked the cartoony style that I was kind of going for, and it just kept me busy, especially during the pandemic when like everybody knows that that was a sorry, no, that was a like rough time for everybody. It was a weird time, and whatever. I don't want to dwell too much on it, but yeah. So it was just something that kind of kept me going, and then eventually after I was drawing this comic, I did it for like probably like 2 months, and I was like, man, I want to do like a real comic. I want to do something more, actual comic-esque. I even did like a run where I did everything in color. So you can kind of see the development there. I was adding the shading color and just doing a lot of funny stuff with it. And just, it was a good time. I really liked this comic. I really liked working on it. That was a cool panel. And then I colored it and I realized how much it took to like color a comic. Coloring took fucking forever. And like, it was like double the work. And that's why I don't like coloring my work now. I just would prefer just leave it in a gray tone. That's it. Yeah. And I could show you where I kind of like later in the stream. I kind of show you where I broke through and I figured out like how I wanted to do my art style and stuff like that, and like actually learning how to draw. But yeah, I really just like on some like cartoony stuff with this one. It's a cool little piece of art like that. So it was a fun comic. This one, like I said, I worked on it for like 2-3 months, and then eventually I ended up going to my first like real comic venture, which is more like a traditional comic. This was like more of like a comic strip type deal. I was probably putting out 3 strips a week, maybe, give or take. But yeah. So this is like my favorite drawing I did from that little comic run that I did. All right, so let me go to the let me go back to the website. And so on here, so this the Lost Zone was like my first real quote unquote venture into making a actual comic. So the Lost Zone was pretty much, the concept was just like, all right, so what happens if this character gets thrown into yeah, cartoony comics are definitely good for Instagram. Like if you're consistent with posting your comic on Instagram, you will get a lot of traction. There was a lot of pages when I first made my Roho Kova page that I was following that would do like daily strips and stuff like that, and they get a lot of like traction because a lot of people are just overall fans of that series and whatever, and the people will like collect all the panels or pages and whatever, and they'll make their own books and stuff out of it. I've seen a few creators do that. So anyways, The Lost Zone. So I posted it September 2022, and this book was straight just like energy, straight like no prep time, no nothing. I was just like, all right, let me see how like what it takes to actually make a real comic. So this is the cover that I made for it. Again, I was still like a little more cartoony. I was still trying to figure out like at this point I already figured out how to use Procreate, but I hadn't figured out like my method of like drawing and stuff like that, like into like more of a realistic, more anatomy and like things like that, whatever. So this is the story, and with this story, I really was just trying to just draw as much action as I could, and that was pretty much it. So it's about this character named this character right here, who's like the same character you saw in the comic strip comic. This is like my OC, whatever, original character, who's just like I show up. If I don't have a character that I have in mind, I always just use him as my character. He's just like a monkey with horns, pretty much. His name is Mo. And so yeah, so with this comic, I just, like I said, straight energy, just having fun with it. Didn't really know what I was doing. It actually it took longer to make this comic than it did the comics that I made after this, which we'll look at after, because I didn't have a plan of concept made, so I didn't have like a script of thumbnails. I would literally just went for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had fun, man. I had a great time. This is where I realized I love gray toning, and even to this day, I love gray toning. Sometimes I overdo it to the point it's like I need to just chill out. I love this Dalmatian character because I actually have a Dalmatian. My dog Opal is a Dalmatian, so I kind of based this little character, anamorphic character, off of my dog. But yeah, just like I said, I had fun. I do little hints of red right here. Just having a good time, just freestyling, just going for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I did definitely like leveled up in the artwork, and like I knew I could kind of draw like this, like get better. But I like with the last one, the what's it called? Whatever the comment, life is a trip. I was just like having fun with that. I just wanted to just go for it and just do what I could in that little square panel. But so this one, I just like I was going for like I really like this panel right here. Still, this panel I think came out really cool. I like this little panel split with this and all this stuff, and I had fun. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I had just free time, I was just going for it. It probably took me like 2 months to do all this. And it's funny because the series I'm going to talk about after this, it didn't take me that long to do it all. Like comparatively, like I was knocking it out a chapter a month with the next book I'm going to talk to you guys about. So yeah, I was just having fun, just doing it, freestyling, a lot of gore, a lot of just goofiness. And yeah, so this is the Lost Zone. And all these books are on my website for free. You guys can go check it out, read them. Do what you want, and whatever. So, yeah, like, was just like trying to come up with random concepts. Look at that body, that's crazy. But yeah, the idea was like every villain's gonna have like 2 pages, and I'm just gonna kill them off, and then yeah. So that's the Lost Zone. So Lost Zone was just like a one shot, like I said, just getting my feet wet and actually trying to make comics and whatever. I didn't really know like the process and stuff like that, but once I finally like did that book, I was like, okay, so now I need to like figure out the bottlenecks and how to what's the word, like get my workflow going. So after that, I wanted to do this series called Bam, which this sticker right here is based off. This is my character Bam, the last hero on Earth, and that was like my series that I've had since in my brain since I was like a little kid, right? So Bam was a character that I came up with when I was little, and I always had a story for it. I still have the story down, but I wanted to like I stopped making it because I wanted to get better at art and start going into working with anatomy. But I got 11 chapters of this series down before I stopped producing it, right? So this is the first chapter. So the concept is pretty much like, so what happens if all the heroes on Earth leave, and they leave like abruptly, and all the villains are still left behind, and what happens to the planet after that, right? So this is like the beginning page is like all the heroes, like my Avengers analog, are giving this speech talking about how people don't appreciate them, and they fly off into outer space, and and this is kind of like what happens after all the people leave. And yeah, so we kind of meet the main character, Wyman, who's Bam, right? And we kind of go from there. And this is the first chapter. It's kind of their journey of just living this decayed, world. Everything's all fucked up. It's like post-apocalyptic, quote unquote, type world. And I didn't really know how to draw backgrounds, and my anatomy's still all wonky and stuff. And but I was going for it. You know what I'm saying? I was having fun. And for this one, I really like put my all in it. Like I prepped 6 chapters at a time. Like I would thumbnail 6 chapters before I started working on the pages. I wanted to give the idea that I was putting chapters out monthly. So what I did was before I dropped it. So 2022, I started probably like the summer 2022, and I didn't put the first chapter till December of 2022. I think. Let me see. When did I put this out? Let me go back to the top. Sorry. Yeah, December 2022. Yep. So, but I already had 3 chapters already drawn and done. So I had a 3-month buffer to continue on. So I was able to put chapters out for 11 months straight, essentially, until like last summer. And that's when I kind of stopped doing it. But yeah, I was, like I said, just going for it, just doing, all the things, the concepts. I think this is probably like my best story as far as, comics go. And, I was just drawing and, I had a good time with it. And I really still love the story. I'm going to, oh man, I didn't realize there's the same page twice. I had to delete that. But I was just having fun with it. And it's something I'm going to get back to. I'm going to remaster all these pages in the near future, probably do a little bit of rewrites. But I just want to get a better with my art in order to make it my art to be the level that the story is coming with. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, like not to say like I'm like the best writer, but like I feel like this is like my best writing feat as far as comic books go. So yeah, I love how I these back like I really like took pride in like doing these little onomatopoeia sound effects with everything. And I would like to like I drew it all scrunched up and shit, and I thought it was all cool when I was doing it. But it's so funny just looking back at your art and how fucked up it is. Damn, I have it again. How the fuck did I do? I gotta go back and refix this shit. I did it again with the double page. What the hell? See, that's how I don't look at this shit so much that so stupid. But anyways, so yeah, some foreshadowing. Yeah. My fucking drawings are so goofy looking, but it's just fun. I had a good time just doing it. And look at that, smash his head. But yeah, I mean, it's a good series. Like I said, if you guys, they're all free. All these comics are on there for free. You can go read them, whatever, and share them and all that. Let me see. Let me go to these 2 chapters are probably like my favorite. So like you can see the progression of the art. It's just like my first chapter, and I'll go to chapter 11 where you can kind of see where my art kind of went from there. So this is like a matter of a year. So I'll read chapter 10 and 11 are the last 2 chapters that I put out. So 10 I put out in October, and in November of last year I put out 11. So chapter 10, and like the story progresses a lot more, like characters that show up and blah blah blah, blah whatever the fuck. Let's see, this loads up. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, so this cover, I think it came out cool. I like the colors and stuff like that. But this is like another character that shows up. His name is Unison X. He's kind of like my Deadpool, but like he's like black and white, and whatever. Anyways, so chapter 10, and so this is like I think this is the flashback chapter. I don't know why it's going so slow. And with this chapter, we get like a flashback to one of the crime mob bosses and kind of like the family, and like we get a whole explanation of, some other stuff. So if you read, if you guys are interested, go read the story and you'll get like the full rundown of everything. But you can see here that the artwork is a lot more different than the first chapter. I actually use a thinner pen because the first chapter I was using, like, I didn't have a pen figured out yet and all that stuff. And I was kind of like getting in my groove right here with these chapters. These last 2 chapters are kind of like I said, are obviously the best chapters. Total excellence. I appreciate you, Ikathis. And yeah, the artwork, yeah. I like the anatomy, like I was learning in real time as I was making these chapters, right? But I still felt like, I guess, insecure. You know what I'm saying? Artists, they do that at times. They just get secure about the artwork. And I was like, man, I could do better. You know what I'm saying? So, but I was like going for it. Like I wasn't scared to do all these cross hatching, which looks like dog shit. But I was saying I was really going for it and really just doing what I need to do. And these kids, their villagers getting all fucked up by this cartel of people. God, I don't know why it's going slow. I think it's whatever. But then, so yeah, this panel came out cool. But I didn't draw his legs for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do that. But it's this girl. She has powers. She's like supposed to be glowing and stuff. And she's like crushes his face. She just fucks all them up. And yeah, I haven't looked at these in a while. It's like my first time actually looking at these chapters in a minute. So it's kind of funny, but he blew his brains out. That's crazy. What was I thinking? And so yeah, this is them as like adults now. So this is them as kids, and it kind of just goes like they went from life of crime, and this is kind of them as adults. And he's like the villain of this like chapter saga, whatever. So yeah. And so this is like the flashback to where kind of how like I don't want to over explain it, but if you guys go and read it, you'll kind of get the story and the gist of the story and everything like that. But I was really like feeling in my stride. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm definitely influenced by manga and by American comics like equally. Like I love both of them. Like I love American comics for like the artwork and stuff like that, especially like the older guys like Art Adams, Ed McGuinness, like Daniel Johnson, who's more contemporary and stuff like that. And the manga, I like the storytelling. I like manga artists how they lay out panels and stuff like that. So I try to like take incorporate both. So there's Unison X, showing up and kicking ass and all this other stuff. No shit. Sorry. But yeah, this panel is cool. He's like spinning his blade. Hit him up with the drop kick. Yeah, see, you can kind of tell I was hitting my stride. Yeah, yeah, and I was definitely hitting my stride. Like I was actually, doing the anatomy, but I was literally just like faking all of it. Like I didn't know how to use anatomy. I didn't know like not anatomy, a perspective. I mean, I didn't know anatomy either, but I didn't know perspective. So like in real time, I would just like if there was like a body position that I wasn't comfortable with, I was just like, all right, let me just look up a drop kick, and then I would just copy the not copy like trace it, but like I would just look at a drop kick and then just kind of draw it there from there. And the same thing with like positions like this where like he's like scratched up and like scrunched up. I was like, all right, let me Google a picture of somebody doing this and do that. And that was pretty like, I was using a hella reference. This panel is so cool. I like this panel. Still so cool. Yeah, and superheroes, honestly, like people were like super cringe about superheroes and stuff nowadays, but I love drawing superhero comics. Invincible is my favorite superhero comic. Like my favorite comics of all time. Like I love Invincible. That's my favorite shit. I love all comics, like all different types of comics, but superhero comics are my favorite, especially like when they're actually like good. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go back and remaster this whole entire shit when I have time to sit down. Once I feel like my artwork is like where it needs to be, and I'm gonna go there. Yeah, Invincible. Yeah, I love Invincible. It's my favorite. I've really read that shit like 2-3 times, and then the show just does the comic even more justice. But what's up? Appreciate everybody, all y'all for watching. So yeah, that was kind of the flashback scene, and like I was, I love just doing straight action. I was just doing action after action, scene sequence after action sequence. There's another chapter after I show a chapter. There's another chapter that I'm really proud of that I did. I'll show you guys after this, but. Yeah, I love doing the fight scene. The fight scene is funny because the fight scene pages were like super quick for me to draw. It would take me like 2 hours, maybe, if that, to do the fight scenes. The fight scenes were always easy. It was like the mundane scenes, which would bother me, kind of like, and I always felt like not embarrassed, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like impressed when I saw other artists and like how they would draw the mundane, aspects of like comics, like people just having conversations, stuff like that. Like when I would read comics, I would really try and study how those artists would draw like people having conversations, people just having lunch and dinner. There's like the shit you don't even think about when you're making a comic. You're like, fuck, how do I make this so it's not so boring? Just people just fucking sitting there doing stupid shit and like, what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the end of that chapter. And let me see. Let me go to the next chapter. I gotta go back and look at this website. I haven't fucking looked at it, and so like especially these chapters and looked at it so long. I gotta add like the links and stuff to it. Okay, so let's look at chapter 11, and then I think it's chapter 7 that we can look at after that, and then we'll look at Strange Fruits Revenge. That was my latest work before Nobody's Safe. So chapter 11, another action-packed chapter. This cover super dope. I loved it. So. I got all the comic stuff. Yeah, I mean, so my mindset when it comes to like making comics, I try not to do too much conversation. I try to just do like, some exposition and like world building or whatever the fuck, like 1 or 2 pages, and I try to just keep it like action centric or like fast pacing. I feel like it's just so boring doing like people just talking like these panels right here. I was like, fuck. I'm talking. I use a different brush. You can tell for this one. I was trying to be more like artsy with it, but I was just testing shit out. And I live in Virginia. I'm from Texas originally, so SD. I don't know pronounce your whole name, but yeah, that's where I'm from. Originally from Texas. So yeah, here we go. Some more stuff. Wicked Emotion. Here I was, practicing this forced perspective, which is like my favorite thing to do. For those who are going to, who purchase Nobody's Safe, you'll see a lot of forced perspective in it. That's like my favorite. I love doing forced perspective, like the Erica Larson and people who really like stretch it out. I love it. So I love like animation. Oh yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So here's some more stuff going on. I was trying to be like kind of this little gag where Unison X, he's kind of like bipolar, and he has like his mentors, like his ghost that's kind of like haunting him. Not really haunting him, but like it's like his other mind. Like he's like, what's the word? He just has like this other personality inside of him that talks to him, and it's his mentor who's like an asshole to him, but he just talks to him, and they're like the people, all the other characters are like, dude, this dude is crazy. Like, way to get him out of here. But yeah, to hear some more forced perspective. These panels are super dope. I think they came out pretty cool. Man, they're tripping out. More forced perspective. This is my attempt at like an image comics panel. But yeah. So, and then like once I was drawing this is really cool too. Once I was drawing this last chapter, I was realizing like, man, like I have more action stuff that I want to do, but I feel like I'm just not like where I want to be, because I really like am putting a lot of effort into writing and making a story cohesive and stuff like that. And I want to make sure my artwork is worth, because I want to like eventually like make this into a full form book and like sell it and stuff like that. Like there's six chapter story arcs with this shit. So like the first 6 chapters is one story arc. The second 6 chapters is another story arc. And I want to make books and stuff like that. Like I already have like the whole thing lined down, plotted. I just was like, man, I need to hit back to drawing board and start, getting, where I want to be as far as like art and stuff goes, So here's this cool panel. I think this came out pretty cool. And then the chopper head off and my boy Bam stops him. Yeah, so the chapter ends in like this stalemate where everybody's like pointing guns at each other and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it. And then I got some fan art from people who are reading it. So this dude, his name is Stupid Mavic, I think. He did this fan art, and then Sketch Smith did another fan art. So I was getting some traction. So if I felt like if I would have kept doing it, I would have got some more traction with it. But I was like, man, fuck that. I wanted like do better, So it's whatever. It's just a me thing though. I'll get back to it. Like I said, probably next year or sometime. We'll see. Let me see this chapter. I think it's chapter 7. I think this is a good, or chapter 8. So chapter 8 is another cool one that I liked. I think it came out really well. So load up. I sound boring, but my art got a lot better after stuff. Yeah. So what I would do to get better. So after I was done with chapter 11 of Bam, I pretty much was like, all right, I went to his website. It's called Point of Action or something like that, and I was doing a bunch of just gesture drawings. I bought. Let me show you guys. Let me stop sharing real quick. And let me see. I had bought a couple art books, and these 2 art books were the ones I was looking at like the most, and just kind of like, studying the fuck out of these books. I read them through and through probably 3-4 times, and then that was pretty much it. Like that was that, and then the Line of Action website. And the Line of Action website, if you guys don't know, it's kind of like you put in like, all right, models, like female models, and then it will show up like models, and it'll give you like a time limit. So I'll put mine for like 2 minutes, like a minute, and then it will show like pictures of like a model doing a pose, and I'll just sketch it out real quick. And I can show you guys what I was doing after I show you this next chapter. Like kind of what I was practicing, how I was practicing my anatomy and gesture drawings, and that helped a lot. And I was also studying a lot of perspective. So like, I think for comic book artists, the most important things, there's like 3 things or 2 things that you should probably like really focus on. It's like anatomy, perspective, and I guess like storytelling. I guess, if you're a writer, but like that was check it out. Yeah, I'll check out your stuff, man. I'll check out your stuff on Instagram. So he's Xbox. Okay, yeah, I'll check you out, bro. But yeah, like perspective and anatomy, or like probably the key things if you want to kind of like get better, because anatomy, obviously you know how the body moves and functions, but perspective is how to get it to look right in the panels and stuff like that. So I spent like 2-3 months like uh um working on perspective and anatomy, just studying 1 point, 2 point, and 3 point. And I still haven't really got 3 point, but I got kind of like 1 and 2 point perspective, mildly down for the most part. I feel like all right, so let me go back to this chapter. So chapter 8 was a cool chapter because I introduced a lot of new characters. I felt pretty confident about this chapter. Fuck, this shit is so slow. I don't know if it's just my computer's just slow. I think it's just my computer's just slow. I need to get a better computer eventually. One day I'll get a better computer. So this is like the start of the new arc. Chapter 7 was the start of the new story arc, but chapter 8 was kind of like the start of like the new big bad and all that other good shit. But yeah, flashbacks and I was just being goofy and stuff like that. Just drawing, cool shit, whatever. God, it's so annoying that it's going so slow. But yeah. So here, this is what I'm talking about. It's like the mundane, boring shit that I like. You really have to figure out how to make the draw to make it more like interesting for people to read, because obviously if it's for a superhero comic, people don't want to read people don't want to read a superhero comic for people having conversations. People want to read a superhero comic to see fights and action and stuff like that. So yep. And I was always trying to add like little gags and stuff, just keep it interesting. And I always try to keep the dialogue and all that stuff light. I don't like making dialogue that's super duper extra'd out and stuff. So all right, so this is like the scene I kind of feel like it was kind of cool. So it's a fight scene. I mean, there's a fire at this house, and Bam shows up to kind of see what's going on, and this is what he runs into. The two villains of this like story arc. So this character is kind of cool. I like it. And then the girl character that you'll see. His name is Atomic Skull, and her name is Augie. Great page with the stairs. I appreciate it, man. So he ran in there to kind of like save the firefighter, and then he comes to see that these two villains are in there, and then they purposely started the fire in order to lure him in there to talk to him and tell him like, stop doing what you're doing, stop being a hero, and we'll let you live. And he's like, yeah, fuck that. And then he's Atomic Skull here 6. Let me see, Augie on his ass, and she just fucks him up. Like he wasn't ready for her. Look at this. I love this perspective. And boom, she just rocks his shit. So winds it up, bitch. But yeah, and then I think this fight scene came out pretty cool. Like the panel layout and stuff like that. Her just fucking him up and about to whoop his ass. I mean, pretty much, kill him. She's about to stomp him out, and he thinks fast and breaks the roof on her and gets away. I use a little blur effect, try to see how that would look, and then he drops the roof on her, and then runs away with the firefighter. But yeah, oh man, I wish this would load up so a little bit faster. But anyways, so yeah, that was pretty much it with like Bam. Like I said, you guys can go back and reread it and all that good stuff. It's on my website. It's all free. So that was pretty much like my second venture into making comics. So that was me testing out actually doing a series, which is a lot more difficult than people think, or you would know if you're a comic book creator. That's like whenever you watch those tutorials, those videos about people saying like, oh, if you're going to make a comic, I will start doing a bunch of little short stories first. And now I see why. But I had a good time because, like I said, I was learning in real time as I was drawing, and I was getting better because I was pretty much drawing every day, which I still draw every day, but whatever. So, 11 chapters of that, and I was proud because my main goal outside of just getting better at drawing was to be able to put a chapter out a month, and I never wavered. I was able, even if I was still going today, I'll probably still be able to put chapters out. I'll probably be like at 20 chapters by now. But like I said, I didn't want to be like one of those people who like by chapter 20, I'm like, my artwork looks way different than chapter 1. Like I want it to be consistently like the same. Like if you guys go back and read like Soul Eater, I believe, is a series. The first like 20 chapters are way different than the rest of the series. Like the Soul Eater you see in the anime and stuff like that, and the later chapters is not the way it looked like in the first like few chapters. And that actually like it's really jarring and just weird and really like off put me like from reading the manga. I was like, I'm just not gonna read it because it was just so weird. But anyways, just another promo. Nobody Safe is out right now. $10 a copy. If you want just a digital copy you can get a digital copy of the book for $5. Easy. And yeah, so you guys want to read it, check it out. I've been working on it for the last like 2 months. It's my Spider-Man fan comics, a lot of action, a lot of blood, guts, action. It's a good time. So if you guys want to check it out, like Spider-Man, and want to see some more like grungy, crazy Spider-Man, this is your chance to get an underground version of that. All right, so next is Strange Fruits Revenge. I appreciate it, Brian. I appreciate you for buying a copy also, man. I highly appreciate it, man. So next is Strange Fruits Revenge. Strange Fruit Revenge is just like another concept story that I had like a long time ago. So it's pretty much the story. It is I Spit on Your Grave meets the story of Nat Turner. If you don't know what I Spit on Your Grave is, it's like a story about this girl who gets revenge on people who like assaulted her and killed her and left her for dead. And she comes back alive and gets revenge. And then Nat Turner was a slave who pretty much was able to become free and get revenge on his masters by burning down his slave, like his plantations and stuff like that, and was on the run for like a month, and they ended up catching him. But anyways, so it's kind of like that concept. And yeah, so this is my first book I made after my like little quote unquote training arc where I was going in there and I was just practicing my perspective, stuff like that. So this one, it was a lot more dark. It's a more of a horror type comic. And you could tell like the style is a lot more different than the older works and stuff like that. I feel like I kind of found my groove with this one. I feel like I was doing my thing. This pen is just kind of cool. I used the red ink, because I wanted to. And then, but yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's a horror comic. I was like more comfortable with what I was doing and everything. But yeah, it's a good comic, and I just put it out in March. So Nobody Safe is like my second comic this year. And I'll probably put like 1 or 2 more comics out this year. After that, and then probably 2025, I might probably go back into drawing BAM, depending on how I feel and what's going on with me and stuff like that. So yeah, I like this story. I think it was a pretty good story. I think I did like a good job. I think my toning and stuff like that was pretty cool. I tried to do different things, like where I would just leave everything white and I would tone the face. I forgot what manga I was reading. I saw them do that a lot, and I kind of got that from there. Just a lot of horror action. I hadn't figured out how to do like the blood yet, so this is kind of like awkward looking page. I don't know. It's more forced perspective that I really love. Again, the more forced perspective, which I feel like forced perspective just looks great, like on action and stuff like that. But yeah, so horror comic, and I like horror. I think after hero stuff, I think horror is probably like my next favorite genre of like comics and manga and stuff like that. Like Junji Ito, I fuck with Junji Ito, and all that. So this panel is cool. It's crazy right there, and yeah. So, but yeah, so that I mean, I've only been drawing for comics for about 3 years. It isn't that long of a journey. People, are in this for decades, and I feel like I'm on the right track, especially after coming back from Heroes and stuff like that and getting the feedback I got. I feel like I was, on the right path, and I'm doing, what I need to. So I think, hopefully in the next 2 years, I'll be able to be published, getting work from publishers and stuff like that. And, we'll see. Or maybe I'll just have a core audience of people who just fuck with my comics and are just buying my comics every time I drop them. And I'm able to have a rotating door of just like of money coming in and out, just to be able to fund my own work and stuff like that, and things of that nature. This page came out cool. I love this heart. But yeah, that's pretty much it I got for this stream. Next week I'm going to be doing probably like streaming probably almost damn near every day next weekend, because my wife is going out of town. with my son, and then I'm just be here with my daughter, and she's super easy to go to bed, so I'll probably be able to have time and stuff to stream or whatever later at night. I also and with those streams, I think I'm gonna do like some interviews and stuff with just like creators that I like and who do indie comics and stuff like that. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who's watched the stream tonight. I just finished recording my next for my next video that I'm putting out probably sometime this week. Yeah, and also like I said, Nobody Safe is live. It's out. Go check it out. Get you a copy if you haven't. I work hard on this book. I think you guys will enjoy it. If you like superhero stuff, you like action, crazy action, stuff like that, you'll like this book. I'm still going to be rolling out the pages on my community tab weekly. So if you want to wait for the complete story to come out, like the pages to roll out every week, you can just wait in the community tab and also on the website. I'll be putting like 2 pages out a week. I'll probably just roll out all these color pages at once, just kind of like get them out of the way and just kind of do the rest of them. But yeah, also sign up for my newsletter so you can get updated whenever I drop stuff, whenever I put new products out, new chapters out of whatever comic I'm working on, and everything of that nature. Yep. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Like I said, I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody who's actually ordered a book so far. I got a few orders already, which is really cool because it's my first time actually, putting myself out there for books to sell. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. New video coming out this week. More live streams next weekend. All that good stuff. Nobody Safe live right now. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.